now. But back then I used the heck out of those pipes. In addition, Lane Limited uh, owns the Dr. Graybo Company. This I didn't know. In addition, Lane Limited owned the Dr. Graybo Company from 1992 until approximately 2005. Lane continues to be a major player in the U.S. pipe market and elsewhere, acting on their own and as part of the Dunhill Group distributing pipes by a great many makers. So, let's say you was in Italy and you needed a pipe to get to the United States, you would go through Lane Limited. The Danish would go through the Lane Limited. Somehow they were also involved in wholesale distribution. I don't know how that worked out, but that's what this says. Uh, so Graybo, it worked with Dunhill, and then you read, if you can find a copy, there's the long out of print article, Leaves from Tobacco Man's Log. You can get the PDF right here on this site, pedia.org. That's what I'm reading from. So we see Lane Limited is a great impact in the last century on the distribution of pipes and tobacco making. They make the famous Lane 1Q, MV1000, and the Lane BCA, the Lane RLP6, and then you can compare the different blends that they have made. Majority aromatic, and they make great tins. The Metal Valor pipe tobacco, Lane Limited Metal Valor pipe tobacco. They make Lane Limited Butter Rum pipe tobacco, Lane Limited Black Raspberry pipe tobacco, Hazelnut pipe tobacco, 1Q pipe, HGL pipe tobacco. There's some here that I've never tried. But we used to bring in bulk supply, and a friend of mine was a blender, and I would know them by their alphabetical names, and we're trying to work things out now. We can go look at some ancient index cards that we had, where it actually had the formula of many of the tobacco blends that we could make, and I would like to make maybe 6-7 tobacco blends that we once sold in Della Concha. I would call it the Della Concha, if I can get the right from the sun, Della Concha tobacco blends, and put them out, because they were very popular in New York. But I have to make sure, I'm salivating, means I'm really enjoying this. I have to make sure that I have the okay and the availability, and I believe I do. I could buy bulk supplies from Lane Limited, all these, and then right here in my own home, I have a room where I could mix these blends and ship it out to people that would like to try the Della Concha tobacco house blends. The majority of the aromatic house blends use Lane Limited, all of them. They use the HG2000, HS3 pipe tobacco, the Lane Limited BCA pipe tobacco, which was like black Cavendish, MV1000 pipe tobacco, the Lane Limited Very Cherry pipe tobacco is very popular, TK6 pipe tobacco, RLP pipe tobacco, Lane Limited BLWB pipe tobacco. So in Della Concha, we used to use all these blends. Maybe that's why I'm partial to it. But anyway, there were so many different tobacco blends, different types of Virginias, different types of Cavendish to process, and different burleys they used to use, Kentucky, At least barely from Canada. Uh, and uh, and oftentimes, I think it was two blends that use Oriental tobacco, but they won't say it. But I think that was the influence that came in when they were bought by a Scandinavian tobacco group. So there you have it. The Germans help a lot in the industry. Pipe makers, German. So not everything that came from Germany was, bad. They hardworking people have a great understanding of producing pipes. There are one or two pipe companies still out there. I think they're making their products now in Italy, and if you want to be a tobacconist, you have to try lane limited. You can't get around it. You can't be biased towards English blends. A tobacconist, you have to try all the aromatics that are out there, and then try all the English blends. That's what I'm doing this year. This year I'm concentrating on smoking as much tobacco from Lay Limited, from all tobacco producers, going back to the old tobacco blends to see if they're consistent. I have to. There's a lot of revised thinking that I have to do because some blends did change. Some English blends did, some companies changed. So I gotta relearn a lot of things. One way of relearning is you gotta go back to the history. What was the motivating factor? These people coming to the United States. How did they distribute? What were the shops that were available at the time? Who did they distribute with? You have to go into their archives. Some of them will let you know because they keep records. So this is like an investigation. It's like, finding a rare LP, a rare book. You want to know the source. How did they expand? How did Lay Limit get as big as it did? And for that, you got to do work. And you go, what would I want to know that? I just want to smoke pipe and tobacco. Yeah, you want to be you might want to be just smoking pipe and tobacco, but to be a tobacconist, you got to know your stuff, man. You got to know your history, your stuff, who's the president of what company, what moves they're going to make. Is it going to affect our tobacco import, our tobacco? Is it going to affect the laws of the land? What are they doing to the tobacco? Are they infusing it with something? Is it being changed? That all has an effect, and our customers know. The one thing about the tobacco enthusiast or tobacco fan is after a while they get to know the tobacco just as well as the tobacconist. And they can come to you and tell you there's something wrong with this tobacco. I've been smoking it 40 years, I've been smoking it 25 years, and there's a change that's happening. You can't argue with them. They've been smoking 20 freaking years, the same blend. They've been smoking half and half. Prince Albert, they've been smoking, blends, blends that basically are not around Middleton or whatever. So you have to be on top. You have to be on point if you plan to be a tobacconist. Or I don't know what the role of the tobacconist today. The role of tobacconists are just sell, and don't know diddly squat. But I have a passion. I want to be the very best tobacconist consultant now. I want to be tobacconist consultant, which means every facet, every area, everything from production company to how it grows, what region it grows, who's growing it, who's processing it, who's distributing it, who are the head honchos of it, how's it being distributed, what are the laws that are changing worldwide when it comes to smoking tobacco. I want to know everything. So, Sailor the Piper Man, Piper the Sailor Man, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm continuing to do research. I'm doing research on the Scandinavian Tobacco Corp. Who are they? Do you know who these people really are? Why would a Scandinavian tobacco company come and buy out Lane Limited? Why did Lane Limited buy Dr. Grable Pipe Company? What happened there? You know, there's always changes going on in the industry. I'm trying to find out what Morgan Froggy Morn is not in the industry no more. They said they couldn't get their tobacco. Why couldn't they get their tobacco? Was somebody else buying everything to shut them out? Was there a conspiracy against Froggy Morn because it was that great? Did somebody come and want to buy the Froggy Morn product and they wouldn't sell? And so they decided they would squeeze them out of the industry. What's going on? I'm not saying that happened, but there's sometimes a conspiracy. Let me tell you, I can tell you a whole story about the battle of the tobacco shops of New York City. That's all different. How owners would plan and tell pipe makers, don't sell your pipes in that store, or I won't buy you anymore. Here's an order for 500 pipes. And then the pipe makers would go to that store. Stuff like that was happening. So I'm just giving you a little insight as to, like I said, I was well versed in the politics of pipe tobacco. And a lot of people lamented to see me go because the pipe shop owners knew Miguel. Do research on that, and I would do research. I would get it. I was like a detective. So this is the state of the piper, man. Piper the Sailor Man. I hope you joined this brief history on Lane Limited. Underneath it all, why they came to the United States, Nazis, World War. You know how many companies went from Italy to England because of World War II, World War One? You know, wars have impacted on our industry too. We just don't do the research on it. So, happy sailing, smoking. I'm enjoying my Peterson here. I forgot I just forget the names. I don't remember the names so much. The Killarney, I think it is. Yeah, I gotta go back and review. But I like a pipe I can clinch. It's got the Peterson system. This is an excellent one. I would like to buy another one. So, smooth sailing.